Module 2, Chapters 3 and 4. Chapter 3 will cover thinking about thought, and Chapter 4 will be about listening, taking notes, and remembering. Last time I had this on my face the whole entire time, so let me fix it a little bit. All right, here we go. So in Chapter 3, thinking about thought, which sounds kind of weird, right? But there is different type of thinking, different type of thought. You need to understand the different types of thinking, and you are also going to learn how to identify each type of thinking and how it contributes to your learning. So this is Bloom's taxonomy, and Bloom's taxonomy, take notes. Benjamin Bloom was a psychologist, and he classified the different types of thinking. There's 6 types of thinking, and they rank in difficulty basically to the easiest way to think. We have knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So the easiest one is remembering. What is your name? What do you identify as, female, male, non-binary, and so on? Understanding is explaining something, paraphrasing, and discussing. And then after that, we move on to applying, where we use diagrams or charts, or we calculate or draw or apply the information, right? And then we have on top analyzing that information, put it in categories. For example, like the food, right? The different foods, fruits, vegetables. So that's analyzing. And as you learn how and get older, you'll analyze further and it'll get more complicated. We have evaluating, where we're making judgment and critiquing and testing theories and defending our ideas, and then where we also criticize. And then the last one is creating, where we take information and we use that to build and design things, houses, we invent things. So very advanced type of thought. Stop here and watch the learning video and take notes. All right. The key takeaways from this chapter are that critical thinking means checking how strong your reasons and information are, not just what you see or what you hear. For example, if you see something on social media and instead of taking it as fact, you go and you research and you look, for example, primary sources like the actual law, the speech that somebody is talking about, and how it was used and how it was stated. So that's how you want to think, not just looking at something and taking it as fact, but looking into it, breaking it down, putting it in context. That is where we're trying to get at when you are applying the type of thinking that you're going to use in college. That's what we're trying to get at. When you have that type of critical thinking and you want to make your arguments better, make sure that you're asking for enough support. If it's the right kind of support, if it's credible, it's important where you get your information from. You want to recognize and understand logical fallacies and to evaluate your arguments better. So things that don't make sense, that you haven't checked out. You want to be creative when you're looking for that information and dig deeper than you would looking for a boyfriend that cheats on you. Just kidding. Learnable creativity. So some people are not born creative, but there's a way to become that creative and critical thinker. It can be learned and practiced. You have to be deliberate about it. It involves you being curious, being flexible with how you think, being willing to look at both sides of the picture, and questioning how things are usually done. Don't just do it the way it was because that's the way it is. Problem solving basics. You need critical creative thinking. Brainstorming your ideas before you share out is good. And effective problem solving. Define your problem, narrow your problem, generate solutions, and choose a solution. So those are some key takeaways from this chapter. Make sure that you understand it well by reviewing your textbook and sharing out in class when we get to discussion. Chapter 4 is listening, taking notes, and remembering. One of the study skills that we are applying and using as an assignment is note taking. And the reason why we do that is going to be explained here. You're going to make sure that you're identifying and you know the roles of listening in class. You need to make sure that you know how to be prepared for it and that you have strategies that work for you. There's 4 ways, primary ways that people take notes. I'm not a Cornell method. You might be. You should try all of them and figure out which one is the one that works for you. Different strategies allow you to build more memory power. Remember, in the book, you read that the reason why we take written notes is because we tend to retain the information better when we write things down, and that is the reason why I have you take notes. It's scientifically proven to help you remember. Stop here, pause, and take notes. Okay, so the purpose again of note taking. We're going to discuss these things in class. We're going to talk about the acquired skills that we can learn to be better note takers and to be better learners. We'll talk about how we apply this in the class to improve our overall performance in the class. We are also going to discuss in class how we're going to prepare for a lecture. It's very different than in high school. We do not want to wait for the professor to say, take out your Chromebook, take out your notebook. You're going to get there 5 minutes before, and you're going to be ready with your pencil and your notebook. Remember to read the assignment and syllabus completely for expectations from your instructor. The learning cycle, which you covered in the textbook, remember include prepare, absorb, record, and review. So you're going to be prepared to go into your class, to absorb the information that it is being spoken to you. You're going to record it while writing, and when you get home, you're going to review it because that last step is necessary in order to retain. The learning cycle is important to know, and again, we reviewed it in the lecture and we reviewed it in our textbook. In college, you're expected to take full responsibility. Unlike in high school, nobody's going to tell you to do your homework or to get to class. Remember that there's different scenarios for listening and that your active listening is crucial. That when you go to class, you're prepared and focused to listen and keep all other distractions out of your mind. Note taking, there's 4 primary ways. They are detailed in the textbook. Choose the one that works best for you. Try them all out. There are 2 types of memory types, and one is short term for specific tasks like tying your shoes, right? And a long term memory for storing and recalling information. So that would also be one when you first learn it, how you tie your shoe, and then now that it's been in your mind for so long, is something that you just recall from it being in your brain for so long. There's ways to enhance your memory. Using and practicing information strengthens memory links. You can do things like flashcards, for example, are a good way to enhance your memory. Being in a quiet room without distractions is a good way to enhance your memory. So these are the key takeaways from this chapter. Make sure when you're reviewing that you're taking notes, that you come and talk to me if you have any questions. I want to make sure I covered everything. Be ready to share out in class. Look forward to seeing each of you.